Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to page 2 poetry. I am your host, James Otter, and your benevolent, sweaty, stinky overlord. I hate to start us off on a down note, but I was given some disturbing news after last week's event, and I feel it is of the utmost importance that I mention. I heard that there were some people, I don't know who they were, who were harassing a mother who brought their daughter to this event. That is unacceptable, uncalled for, and all out fucked. Can I get a fuck no?
Fuck no!
Oh.
Fuck no!
Because this is a poetry event that is not a clique, where people can show up and shun mothers. Fuck no. Or daughters, or fathers, or sons, or weirdos, or orphans, or normies, or freaks, or regulars, or preppies, or anything. Any of those labels. This is a loving environment.
Yeah.
And it needs to be a safe one as well. How many people is this their first time coming? Oh, cool. Welcome. Let's give a warm welcome to those folks. Okay, and then give a warm welcome to yourself. Oh, yeah. I say this with all my heart because I love doing this. I love doing page 2 poetry in the brain of the soul of the heart of Eugene, Oregon, in the back of Cush Cafe, live on YouTube. I love performing and listening and staying and supporting all of the talented writers who come each and every week. Hate only inspires hate, never love. When it comes to harassment of any kind, it is not welcome. Fuck harassment. But really, seriously, I hate to start us off on such a down note. I'm gonna adjust this a second. Hold on, sorry. There we go. That's better. A little too short. But I would also like to introduce my new co-pilot, Andrew the Reverend Gonzalez. Get up here, Andrew. You know him, you love him, and if you don't, you're gonna know him, and you're going to love him. Can you give me a man, Andrew, a welcoming fuck yeah? He will be helping me with timekeeping. Oh yes. In an effort to prevent people from going overboard, because that's been going on a lot lately, I just gotta say. What's that? Hey, darling, can you hand me that cylinder right there? So, you know how I have the phone alarm? So here's the deal. If you happen to have like, you know, maybe a little bit left of your poem, here's your gentle 30 seconds of finish the poem. That's what you get. And then when it's done, it goes, hold on, wait for it. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
You know, it's not to say I don't love hearing your awesome poetry. It's just to say that since lately there's been a lot of people showing up, a lot of new people, and I want to make damn well and certain we all get a fair chance. Anyway, it's Tuesday, and that means it's poetry time. This place is a place of self-expression and acceptance. And you can pour your heart out or do something completely weird and insane, or just keep your clothes on and be mindful of the audience. I love you, all of you. I believe we can make this a safe, fun, and inspiring environment. Can I get a fuck yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
I don't edit for content. But I also don't allow racism or sexism or homophobia, let alone derogatory attacks on anybody who comes here. This is all obvious. And you are all beautiful and brilliant and make this happen. For you new people who are performing, you get 8 minutes. All works must be original. And by getting up on this stage, you consent to be live streamed on Page 2's YouTube channel. You dig? Fuck yeah. Awesome. All right, now for a word from Andrew Gonzalez. How's it going, everybody? I said, how's it going, everybody? You can't let those Pentecostal churches beat you in loudness. They can get fucking loud, man. You gotta be louder than those guys. And football, what's up with that football shit? Those guys freak the fuck out, man. I mean, poetry, that's something to freak out about.
Yeah, freak out.
This is the Rev here, come with some ministerial advice. Like James said, there's just a couple of housekeeping announcements. One is that I received information from 2 different females last time that they did not enjoy the kind of interaction they were having with men who were somewhat presumptuous in their touchiness. So I just want to say that touching is awesome and beautiful. Intimacy is awesome and beautiful, but it is important that that awesome and beautiful thing is kept consensual. And, you know, if you don't know what consensual is, just ask. Another thing real quick is about the time limit, which used to be 7 minutes. Now it is 8 minutes and a little bit of extra time, which is awesome. All the viewers out there are very patiently waiting for us to be done when we go on and on and on. And I, out of everyone here, can go on and on and on. So there's a certain degree of respect there. We're going to respect one another in this time limit thing. It's not to be an asshole or a jerk or to be a downer on the party, man. You know, dude. So, all right. It's been great, guys. Let's get this going. James, come on up to your phone. All right. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, hey, a stool. Oh, hey, it's stool. Yeah, what's that doing up on stage, huh? I wrote this, who cares? From inside of a crashing train on the observation deck, just before an old brown suitcase crashes into the back of my head. The corner hitting that soft spot we all had when we were babies. I could see someone who moved like liquid nitrogen. She was coming out of a frozen, boiling tar pit. A place for the bad kind of parties. The kind that happened in the trunk of a beat-up Volvo. On a night of neon pink acid toner rain, I could see her. And she could see me. And then she was closer. And we were miles from the tar, surrounded by microscopic diamonds. And my eyes rolled back in my head, but I could still see her. Like a gremlin on the wing of a depressed, polluted, fracked sand tar, the neon Kool-Aid looking rain hissed as is common for cobras, warning before the strike. How I felt was days from the Dramamine I took hours ago. I was the last perfectionist left, paying direct attention because she wouldn't let me look away. The driver was dead, I think, or the train was moving in excess of 300 miles to the bottom. I, like a goldfish harassed by an angry, angry, angry toilet, just sleeping, floating upside down in the water, in the trash compactor, opened my eyes. Dynamite on the tracks? Was there a woman tied there too? I don't know. I only try to breathe, but I can't tell if it's my heart jumping through my sternum and out of my chest. Something boiling hot and sticky covers my face. I feel my skin melt. And a damp, sharp object inserts itself in the back of my throat. It pierces through the roof of my mouth, into my frontal lobe. What happened next? I can't tell, but the thick military-grade glass was shattered, and the car was filling with water, and bits of sand spun clouds in the darkness, and I couldn't move. My brain was ice cream, and my body was a stepped-on waffle cone. And she was still in there, in my body, tearing through the little connector nodes, wrapping up inside my intestines and my stomach and my lungs and through my ashen eyes. She was my vision, and we were each other. I breathe in the water bubbles, and I expand into something horrible. Something like a blob, but with more details, more skin. And I killed the dinosaurs. I think. I drowned the Stegosaurus. And I drowned myself. In the suitcase that hit me in the soft spot. It hit me so hard I never stopped moving. And I was big. Not big, gigantic, mammoth, a creature, part machine, part mon, all gone, all fallen down into the depths of the sidelines as part of the train and part of the history and an essence of legend. Hungry, so much hungrier. I am black, the supernova, submerged beneath hateless, loveless, soulless confusion. And my head cracks open, my brain wrapped around the hand grips, floating hungrily at the surface, ready for storage in the sequel. But it never comes. I am consumed once more. An alligator dies from oversentience. And it was me, and the spirit of the hot, murky, sullen, spinning liquid disease, the symbiotic dream delusion that crashed through this reality to combine with an unholy masquerade of sexual splashing and drowning, teleporting all but her victim and her mate in the train. I recall, before the crash, I saw one of the Great Lakes, I think it was Erie, draining. The puddles, tiny puddles like liquid footsteps. I couldn't think to begin with, but my soul's dark nightmarish subconscious. I think I pulled some unknown protoplasmic psycho horror out of myself. And then we became something like a negative universe, a powerful creature of chaos, just waiting for the next mysterious lever and the next unsuspecting witness to pull us through to their world, to give me form, to seduce with my invasive spirit. And then the darkness froze, and I waited forever until a body in the trunk of a crashed Volvo woke up, staring into my beautiful red pupils. She couldn't help but love me. The reptilian brain in the reptile finished the job, and we didn't live happily ever after. We became the creepiest ever after. The beginning, the end, the middle, between, that's where we have always been. Woo! Give it up for James and Good Kinds of Crazy, man. Why you must be born again all over, though you may be an old man or an old woman. When I was in high school, I thought that I had been born again. And my uncle told me while I was preaching that he thought a man could be born again many times. And now that I am older, I think perhaps as an automatic line of poetry that held a prophecy for me for now, in the middle of my 20s, I consider that possibly the potential that a man may be born again many times is, in fact, my only hope. I went to a poetry reading where in a line of poetry, a woman said, quoting the words of a homeless vagabond she encountered on the streets, "This is how I believe." And I reflected indeed that to attach belief to a belief and live in that belief, for that belief, speaking on its behalf like a servant to an idea, is a blasphemy unworthy that will eventually provoke grief. When good reasons for doubting certain things bangs a foreboding knock at the door of reasonability, and the threat of treason echoes by and by in the corridors of your mind that you will die, and perhaps you will die believing the wrong things. I.e., if there is a hell for such an inadvertent crime, that would suck. But if this truly mattered to a deity, how cruel, because the time is too short. It is overly short to be sure of anything which stretches that far beyond the scope. Oh, it may come from the deep, but it must be there before you come, waiting for you to discover it underneath an unexpected rock of human experience. There be God, and there be love, but not in any book or sonnet. Remember that, and look again. No, this is how I believe. This is not what I believe or why I believe, but in the womb of the universe, I am born continually, because all coming and going is ultimately illusion. Therefore, you and I always exist. Clouds evaporating to embrace the circumference persist, and the atmosphere still being there, just spread out larger and unseen to the naked eye, you might say. Like a circle which appears to be moving in a circle, but is but a circle still there, whether held by the chains of dogma or not. The gifts of this circle life can be sold as a mixed bag of goods in a church, synagogue, or temple, but the gifts must be set free into the mixed up sinner saints' hands. God and love, like dogs collared and tightly leashed to the hip of a minister or holy book. To live is an act of firm belief. There is no reason not to press the careless knife into your neck. Oh, reasons may be given, but there is no ultimate reason to go on. You just do.
and that it not be out of habit, so you may always be arriving where you're at. Seeing new things and therefore believing new things, a sign of life, the impulse of which pulses verily with fertility and virility. Finding God and love again inside each other and us inside of he and her. True to this truth, I stand aloof with the nations in my testicles. Therefore, when the barrier between me and everything else begins to break down in the all-corroding glory of day-to-day mundane precious moments passing through my fingertips, I know I am the ground beneath my feet, and that every creature's suffering is my own. I am too small to feel or understand or care for or to properly. Though I would save myself to save you, though I know not at all times what to believe. I only know I grow in all which is a part of enigma. The experience of birth is an experience of suffering, therefore babies cry. And yet this thing keeps the babies alive. A light, a name would only be an idol to represent. So in the cave, the casted shadows dance against reality. Consciousness sees the belief to provide form to the void in our eyes. We see a spectacle of our own making, every person a pious artist. Time is too short. We must be born again each moment for the here and now, if we hope to feel alive when we finally change, and some part of us goes out into the grave, and some part of us goes.
Well, thank you, Andrew. That's fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. Fuck yeah. All right. Gabriel.
Come on,
Yeah, there we go.
That was beautiful, Andrew.
Woo! Yeah.
The human condition is one of perpetual amnesia.
Yeah. Yeah.
The hippocampus is a part of the brain which serves an integral function in the creation of new memories. It's called the hippocampus because it looks oddly like a seahorse. I forgot what I was talking about. I knew I had something important I was doing. Something to do with the ocean. Something to do with forgetting. Something to do with shapes. It turns out sleep is one of the best things we can do for our brain function.
Yeah.
So it's funny how we all feel like slackers when we sleep in. Maybe we've been awake too long.
Yeah. Hey. What's all this?
And that's why the reefs are leaving us. The seahorses down there are bored. And they feel underappreciated. We never go deep anymore. I feel like I was getting at something. I feel like I was onto something. It was right on the tip of my tongue, something important. Something about the temperature. Something about the human body. Something about patterns. I can't for the life of me remember where I was going with that though. Some people with Alzheimer's disease suffer terribly. They're horribly frustrated, angry, alone. They want clarity. They want to work better. And they don't even know that that's what they want. Not Paul, though. See, I watched Paul once a week for a few months. I took him on walks. I tried to appeal to his short attention span with my presence, with bright colors, sights, and smells. I smiled a lot. I played him some music, read him passages from Winnie the Pooh. I offered him a dry rose once, and he ate it. True story. True story. Once while we were walking, he fell and he hurt himself. That was the only moment I ever saw fear in his eyes. Like he couldn't really figure out what was happening. I felt awful. I felt like it was my fault. I thought about it for some days after that. The funny thing is that he probably forgot about it as soon as his hand healed, if not sooner. And I still remember it to this day, years later. I can't remember exactly where I was going with this, but I really miss Paul.
Sounds like he had good taste in roses. Oh, that's fantastic. Can we give him another warm round of applause? All right. Now we have two newcomers who are going to do a poem together. So let's give a warm, welcoming round of applause for Emily and Linnea.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Talk as loud as you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. How do we follow?
I don't know.
Got kind of lost back there. Okay, so we're doing a project this summer where we're riding on trains and writing on trains. And we just went out to Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver and did a really cool trip up there. And we wrote this poem. So here it goes. Portland. Listening on a train to two crazy men covered in feathers and screaming about God. Their faces stony, round glasses, man moles! They've been underground for a long time now, but they escaped and they're fucking crazy.
Off the train, we think we are in Magic Town. Egg yolk ripe like lemon. Buttery croissant melting. We close our eyes, groan. We are disgusting in the cafe. Better than morning sex. Brunch.
Train station, trailer trash. I'm sorry, I lost my thing.
Seattle.
My document didn't work.
Give it up, give it up.
Give it up, give it up.
Train station, trailer trash. We are 5 minutes late. The man in the conductor suit yells at us. He apparently has a huge, throbbing cock. We know because it exceeds the luggage restriction. 50 pounds of pure meat. We board the train.
Where is the Space Needle? Lights, writing, crying, grass, water. Trying not to cry on my veggie burger. I want some real meat, damn it. Art, paintings, metal markets, the 90s grunge seeping into our burks. A man on the corner screams over his guitar. Every man's got a devil inside. Bedlam Bible bedtime. Our little Seattle niche, complete with couches, a foam Space Needle, and Kurt Cobain. Everything I've eaten today has been presented on white and red checked paper, hot dogs, pizza, and we're high.
Vancouver, the Couve. How do I cut apart a whole cow? The cow is Vancouver. How do I do it?
You take your knife and you start in the gut. You let the good stuff fall out and then you write about it. It's okay if you bleed.
Then you lodge yourself in the gut for a night, a hot, sticky hell night. There are drugs, cow drugs, used to make the city quiver. You wake up, you take your knife and you cut the pretty red cow heart straight down. You crawl inside, reach a hand down for Emily. She slips on a gut, she dry heaves in a crop top. The blood of this body, too much for her body. Begin to separate the legs from the body. Find the curves of the cow. Give the meat a drink of beer. Fermented wheat fixes all. You go to a holy cow church, stained glass made of the eyes of cows, made of their teeth and horns. You can see through the cow's eyes and you pray. You pray really quite a bit, even though you're a cow murderer. Maybe that's why you pray. You decide raw cow meat is sensual, but you need cooked meat. To start a fire in the street, use books and catcalls and paper napkins and the whispers of legs to make a flame taller than your own body. You take Emily's hand and run for cover in the pizza shop. It is filled with dirty men who stare with their cow eyes at your exposed skin, and your friend Leonard the Canadian kills them all. Then he jumps on a bison statue screaming, "Fuck the cows!" Ironically, he wishes for a cowboy hat. Mariah Carey plays softly and you run toward the barn to sleep. Say no to the meat, to the drugs, to the men. Sleep in a cloud. Dream about every cow you have ever known. Lindsay, Pete, and Sue. Leave the city by rail and don't look back. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, God damn it. You better come back next week. That was fucking awesome. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Hey, are your hands vibrating yet? Of course not. Let's give another round of applause. I sure would like to go to that cathedral. Sounds like my kind of place. All right, we have another newcomer. Let's give a warm welcome to Blake. Enter through the poetry slot. Yes, there we go. That's how you do it.
Right. Cool. I didn't get a chance to print it out, so this is going to be fun. Well, I don't know about y'all, but tonight, I want to take flight way up to the moon and drink of it. I want to grab that light, juice it whole, and guzzle it down. I want to sprint, frolic, jump frog, kundalini, springboard, hip-hop around town, upside down, and feel the pervading fiber of the ecstatic moonbeam magic. I want to play. Right here, right now, I want to play. Is that okay? You'll probably notice it, but I'm shaky as hell right now, and I'm certifiably freaked out. I don't do spoken word, I don't listen to it, and I haven't created anything that renders me a poet in over 14 years. But last week, something sparked alive in me. Stumbling in late, I was gifted the grace of 2 poems, just 2 little seeds of poems. And wow, here we go. The lights turned on. In an otherwise empty house, I was home. It wasn't up to me whether I wrote something or not. I just knew next Tuesday I would get up on stage. So here I am. Here you are, and here we go. Sniff out and play, ye dogs, and be unleashed. Glitch out and spark, O machines, and be unhinged. This moon is but a petal away from unfolding into full bloom. So be wiry, be unpredictable, be shit in a basket. What the fuck did he just say? Nuts. Arm flail and booty pop and sprint, swim, soar, and lose it, my friends. Tonight, lose it. Lose whatever it is that's in the way of you and self. And we're talking grand slam, capital S self, older sister self, with all the cosmic bodacious curves. If you're feeling it, and you probably are, respect your true child animal self enough to roar. Don't be selfish now. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Share that self. Share it, Jackrabbit. Copy, paste, photocopy, silly. Put that soul onto some style of thing and give me a piece of that delicious cacao for me. It don't matter what. It don't matter what. It matter how. Write, sing, and dance. Just relapse into release so that we finally come alive together in this universal organisms cross-woven, no shame here, cuddle puddle. I hope you're hungry, because tonight is a pleasure and play buffet. If you want to pay. The price is yourself, though, so give it up. Give it up!
Yeah.
Give up your small s. Pocket change, scared silly, still trying to be something she isn't self. Let her go. If to none else than the luscious Lady Luna. God damn. Lend to her your mind, senses, and above all your body. Just relax, listen, and receive. She'll take care of everything. She's been around a while, and she knows just what you like. Fair warning, though, shortly after you may find your brain out of commission, your senses diabetic, and your heart shocked awake from skinny dipping in waters alive. Hear me, hear ye. The naysayers gather round. May we disperse tonight, unrehearsed, and paint the town in purple. I like purple. Purple is bliss. May we kick over trash cans of old paradigms and inflame whole boxes of mail that never served. May we sprint supersonic and romp around on ground tectonic. May we pick through the pop cultural orange peels and avocado pits that you tried to pretend you didn't see peeking through your cultural compost. May we poets make our pens our pipes and get high with the Most High. May we remember the inner child and trade in sizzle for mud pies. May we break the form of norm and descend into animal noises and bok choy logic and all love to Robin Williams' barbaric yops. As for the naysaying voices that yet linger, and I'm talking to you, for the gripping whispers of complacent fear, fear of feeling, being seen, even healing, the deep constrictions and contractions of the war, I say do not push away, but hold these wounded soldiers. Hold them dear. Listen to some, but trust only one. Trust, confide, and speak as the juicy, Lucy, already healed voice that's behind all the fixation and the fixing. Behind those starved phantoms of loss and lack that gotta have to shoulda. Behind, before, beyond all that. Keep an NSA tab on that still, small, deep well voice. The glowing godchild whose eyes shine lustrous and glow luminescent in the night. Hear her, know her, feed her in play and passion, in rapture and release. Above all, feed her mud pies and shameless self-indulgence. At least tonight, give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission to give yourself permission. To be a lover. To be alive. To be loud. To be a fanatic ecstatic in the busy bubblegum humdrum of how did we get here and what are we doing, I'm giving myself permission. To by the light of this Luna, release my fear and remember my joy. My barbaric, primordial, rapturous joy. And this is my joy mudra. Hey! I can't always find courage, but I can often choose joy. Tonight, I walk, sing, and yup with joy. Thank you.
Thank you!
I am loving it. I'm loving it. That's a good one. It's like a modern prayer for the new day. I don't know. I can't describe it. I was like speechless. Yeah, this is a good night, you know? I mean, even when it's a small crowd, it's still an awesome night, you know? You guys are fucking awesome. I cannot stress that point. Speaking of awesome people, hey, Will, guess what? It's time to come on stage for the poetry slot. Yeah, come on, give her some love. Really?
I love you guys. All right, what do we got?
got here today. So this one's been interesting. So the first poem I'm going to do was a post I saw on Facebook. I promised myself I wasn't going to do anything on Facebook, but I used it as a writing prompt. It was a picture of Kanye West in a classroom that said, "Today, class, we're going to learn how to teach how to turn a hoe into a housewife." So I turned that into a writing prompt. And here we go. Hello, class. My name is Mr. Farley Van Vliet, and today we're going to learn how to turn a hoe into a housewife. Lesson 1, you can't. It's impossible. Trust me, I've tried. I have lied and been lied 2-3 fold trying to be Captain Save a Hoe. So have some faith that I know. The best you will get at this is the illusion of success when all you really have is a hoe in a white dress. I remember the first time somebody said that their wife was leased. I had no idea what that meant. He grinned a little pleased and just said that she went when the money did. I actually thought that term was a little funny. A few months later, I lost my job, and when times were troubling, my girlfriend of 2 years kicked me out of our house that I helped build with nothing. So that sure came full fucking circle. But truth is when you lose your ability to provide things for people, seeing who sticks around, who just grins, kind of be founded like, nah, brah, it was never about the physical shit. Try the metaphysical wit here. It is just astounding. The Yankees are pretty good too. Whoops, I seem to have digressed. I confess, yes, this is something I've attempted once or twice or like every hoe I've ever met. A lot of people have done nothing but use me, but in a way I kind of let them. Call it naivety, call it what you will. I still maintain that what I've done was for love and not necessarily for this hoe to housewife fuckery. A tiger can hide his stripes in tall grass, but will always show them right before he pounces, and the ounces on your back count when you're dodging that shit. No matter universal clout, garbage in, garbage out. So if you want a hoe in your life, that is exactly what you will get. In conclusion, your vibe attracts your tribe, and you can call a shovel an ice cream maker, but you sure as fuck bet you ain't gonna get any sherbet. If you want to put a hoe in a white dress, be my guest, but you're wasting your time, as your stripes will pick fights with the housewife you're trying to make her into. I don't know where this went really. So I was walking out of 7-Eleven a bit ago. A family at the Red Box. Little boy indicates what he wants to see. Mother says, "No, that's not a movie. That's a documentary." No, Johnny, you don't get to educate yourself. You want 2 hours of computer-generated explosions, a Trojan horse, if you will, in the sense that that shit can only rot your brain if it gets let in. But that kid, and all kids, don't have any say in what they learn. They just do. So whatever is around them is true to them. I mean, this isn't anything that hasn't already been said, but I've usually just felt this about religion and such. I mean, I just feel bad for the kids that just become little puppet dogma clones of their ancestors, like they never had a chance to see anything else. But this is knowledge we're talking about here. Desire to make the world more clear. The sheer idiocracy of maintaining that your offspring are as stupid, if not as or stupider than you, doesn't make any sense to me. I still remember the day my father apologized for passing on his superiority complex. His pure gut complex, he chuckled when I asked what that meant. Not what the complex meant, but why he was sorry for it. For raising me to be intelligent enough to see this bullshit for what it is, and that a lot of people legitimately can't see the difference between their elbow and a hole in the ground. Well, he thought for a second. Some people put themselves on a steeple to look down and hate the sheeple, but for pure ego. And as we go, oh, well, I'm just glad you didn't do that with the gift I gave you. Woo! Come on! One more and then I'm done.
I'm gonna read it. How much time I got it. We got it. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right.
Yeah, you got actually more than that.
Oy vey, I naysay and play to the crowd. The first thing you learn about me is I do not fuck around, never lost, never found, finding new sound in the underground. Children of ancient philosophical plans, vision tropical sands manifesting power to fight what you're detesting and second guessing the best things of blessings ever present in each present moment, using present tense as if one could pause a second and talk about it for a minute. Grandmother's clock, always tick-tocking, a false perception of light and dark, never stopping, ever rocking to and fro. Fantastic dog and pony show, and a golf clap given in honor of such illusion orchestrated. Statue created, masses sated, and both George Bushes masturbated furiously. And yet, curiously, it went off without a hitch. They rocked that bitch without a stitch, and all of their friends got rich. Well, richer, to paint the picture properly. Half a planet and 45 million of this country in poverty doesn't seem to be that big of a problem to them. So all the people who want it addressed can't, and all the people who can address it won't, because they don't get 2 shits and a popsicle about anyone outside their yacht club. So yeah, motherfucker, sit up there in your tall Roman towers, tell us to eat cake and take your golden showers, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and it sure as the fuck won't crumble in one either. You don't have to be a believer. It's your choice how loud your voice is and how much you decide to change your own reality. How well you merge the fighting dualities. In our community of beautiful creativity, we have the power to change the universe, remove the curse, disperse shadow with light, and see there is no difference in the two. You only perceive it. Fucking love you guys.
Boy, I tell you, it's been one hell of a night so far, hasn't it? Let's see. All right, so let's give a warm round of applause for Slash.
Who do we breathe for? Lone Ranger woman running into a war of love. As she shares and cares and she stares off into the distance, she realizes the world is one big mission with many bumps and turns, challenges that are harder than the Lone Ranger woman ever imagined. Wandering and wondering throughout the day, she wants to believe in the lessons of another, but the wow is how long it takes to learn. Her heart wondering, will this matter in the end? Will anything be answered, or will it drift off into the wind? Will all Lone Ranger men and women walk a straight path, or will some walk off the path? A change could warm a soul the same as a blanket warms you from the night cold. As the Lone Ranger woman listened to her mind, but made no sound, manifesting treasures not even found. After the time of her presence, the only thing the Lone Ranger woman waits for is what she will call home after her soul moves on. Will she still be a Lone Ranger woman as she transforms her spirit to give her heart to lay it softly upon the world, beating together as one? If she split her soul into the river, it would swim away. The flow of her mind would overflow with knowing, trapped underwater, vicious cycle of life, thinking, not thinking. The greatest accomplishment for the Lone Ranger woman is breathing, straining the words from her mouth, tattooed by the inner spell of her soul, heart-filled a rebel, the rally, waves of dust blazing into space. She smiles, a shadow that swallows the science of society between a powerless public. Under the blade where wild ones crawl, the time has come to fight for the freedom to inflate her notes of the land we own. If she is pitted, she will claim her prize. Swirled with love and wrap the Lone Ranger woman's thoughts as the daisies play in the gentle breeze of the wind.
That was beautiful. There's been a lot of that. A lot of beautiful poems. In fact, it's all been beautiful. I am seriously, I love it. Absolutely. You know, I don't know what else I'd be doing if this didn't exist. I don't know. Probably like
Masturbating or something.
probably sleeping or like fantasizing about this existing. Anyway, now it's Draco's turn.
Oh,
So let's give a warm welcome to Draco. A warmer welcome than that, right? There we go. That's more like it.
I don't know how warm a welcome we really need. It's pretty hot, right?
I know.
So,
Nah, it's
Thank
like
you.
possible around.
thank you, James. You rock, man. And like everybody here, are awesome.
yeah.
I came here last week, and it was my first time here. It was really inspiring. Like the stuff that comes out of humans is like the stuff that comes out of stars.
There we
It's
go.
amazing. It's light. It's love. It's everything. And it's nothing. But what is nothing? It's something. But how can it be something if it's nothing? It's like substance without existence. It's intense. So far, everybody's had this overall tone of just amazing, loving greatness. And I hate to say it, but I'm here on a little more serious note. Kind of in light of current events and how I feel about stuff.
Yeah.
Passion, lasting till the day our souls cash in. Bridges burned, lessons learned, way more important than fashion. But what about renown and clout? Trying to become a status symbol. Complications around the nation, why not just keep things simple? With rhythm and rhyme, I speak the things on my mind. Until I do declare, I'll say what I say all day, every day, until I scream it with my fist in the air.
Woo.
Oh, wait. Yes, wait. Feel the weight of what I state, as next I implore revolution. Class hate, race bait, hesitate while the corporate state destroys our constitution. The TPP is like a nuclear missile, proverbial thorn in the side of the people. This is what we get since we sat back and left politics to all the sheep. We asked for change. They gave us change, though totally not what we expected. They say no pain, no gain, but what is there to gain for all those who are now dejected? We predicted and projected this predicament before, and they called it a conspiracy theory. Their actions prove that it was a conspiracy fact, as we can now see the truth so clearly. Screw 9/11 truth. Just eat a baby Ruth and be distracted by mass media right now. I'm on Facebook and Twister, watching YouTube on the shitter. The misinformation is like, wow. Labeling laws versus unnatural flaws, but free trade creates jobs, right? Over 1 million jobs lost to free trade laws. It's time for us to stand up and fight. Wrong, right, or unfair. It's not polite to stare at the poor folks who've all tried their best. Unless you've been there all homeless and bare, you've got no true right to attest. I wonder what would cause people to eat like dogs in the wealthiest nation of all. Suppression of voice, oppression of choice. It's the way of the bigots who call. This flag stands for bravery, not racism or slavery. So I don't care how you feel. It's things like that, designed to distract and make our division so real. All across the land, united we should stand, but divided we will fall to the elite. I have stood on my own, but not truly alone. In protest, we take to the street. With peace and love, we look up above to pull ourselves up by their strings. Maybe in the end, we can all be good friends. and the weight of the world won't sting.
Speechless. Yeah. That was amazing. And that was like, I think it's important to have balance in poetry. It can't all be, bright, shiny, and it also can't all be like dark in the depths. Balance is important. When there's not a balance in the force. Look what happened to that one planet. I don't know. I didn't watch Star Wars. Anyway, I'd like to call up Chelsea because it is your time. So let's give a warm welcome as we near the end of the show. Enter through that slutty poetry thingy. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so for the past 4 years, I've been writing about people on the bus, and
Yeah. On the bus.
cage singer Jerry Garcia stole the cougar and rode into the sunrise of your eyes. A dog that died can still survive. Leaking matter must you scatter, boxes of radiation form the walls. Batteries are dead, unwakeable, untouchable, leaking poisons to yield the future. Trees die to wipe your ass. Your twat is still draining. Gold rivers of plenty, go fast, got to trash the universe. Trash the universe with your babble. Birds fly out of me, reprogrammed to test your fate. Brain matter scattered in the seawater. Creatures become human, mental breakup, spill your flesh cup, taste the pain. Is that better?
There we go.
Exposure. Illusions of innocence lost in auditions of lost society. Hours of dirty perversions. Butt plugs 10% off. Door locks at 10:15 a.m. Leave your sins at the door. Shove your wad. Panties in the sink. The missing link lives within us all. Paradise is waiting in the taxi outside. Tears gather. If I read like this. Tears gather and the ocean crashes. Sun sinks. Owls fly out of your eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey.
I write a lot.
I could
A
probably.
whole lot, and I draw a lot too. 6/16/15. Captain of two-headed dick face. Slash disconnected. Hearing is faded and dull. Blood dripping. Taste of trust. The bus is a bust. With my magic wand, it comes on. So this happened tonight. Moving cell, all pieces of crap on the sidewalk, go home. Sad woman waits on her walker of fate. She waits for the hour to be late. She sleeps on the corner of Eugene. Well, hey kids, drinking in the park. Dog starts to bark. Oh, there's my stop.
Hey, would you
There it is.
Better.
There's
Yeah.
that voice.
Kind of short. Let's see what else I can do. Okay. October 1st, 2014. This is like about 6 in the morning. Cash is filthy. No one acts blessed. Slippery hands build carving warmth. Body is frail and mighty. Is all work worth the big fat war? Can we stop and listen anymore? This is a sin of pain. Subside, or with it turn into a dull, aching pain. Creep of waste of the fucking time. Listen here, all the stairs of the matter will crash down and smush all you worthless fuckers. Soulless creatures, who we call humans. 11:20, gotta go to class. Disconnected. Hear the crash. Can you see who you are at the end where we once were? Am I good on time?
Oh, you're 5 minutes is where you're at.
The balance of elevators is the category of the truth and lies. Of all who live in the dream, we must likely die. Sad and lonely, the poorest man alive. He will have no lovers, no family there to subside. And most of the time I kind of stay up late and I write in the bathroom. Like sitting in a lawn chair and it's green and my shower curtain's green, so I kind of feel like I'm at the beach or something. So I kind of I went through that one about butt plugs that was in the weekly. And so I was like flipping through the weekly and I kind of just go through the weekly and I say, take certain words and go through it, and yeah. There's a lot of advertisements in the weekly. Let's see. 9/29/14. Patterns connected. Caution, white flag. Students write together. Yellow flowered grass below. Stairs form with our souls. Even the bus driver matters. 15,000 trees surround my brain. I feel at race here. Excuse me. I feel at race here. Trees stay still for so long, arms longer than the surface. Days bright, sunshine on my paper. Welcome to the dreams made come true.
About 45 seconds.
Okay. Value of your worth, wisdom. Often we tend to digress of hardcore thoughts. Light shines great. Suck your bottle of drugs. You must sweep your shit under the rug. I lost the key to my heart. The poem is clear. I really want to part my shit and get out of here. Must be fate that brought me here. Healer souls nobody knows. And what's the hobo know? Here's how it goes. For all who knows, I hate on the bus. Woo!
Not bad. Very good. In fact, how many poems is that you read? You read 8? Oh, that's fantastic. That's like a poem a minute. Anyway, let's give her another round of applause. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, someone very special to me is coming up on the stage. My darling, my love, brilliant Bridget. So give her a big round of applause. Take it away.
So I'm going to give a little bit of backstory because usually if I don't, my poems seem a little offensive or bad. This is called The Creepy. It's about a guy that I used to work with at Walmart. And he managed to unfortunately, make his gayness very creepy. He followed guys home from work. He walked around behind them a lot at the store. And, he was just really
Ew.
So they asked me to write a poem about him. So I did.
So, Mr. Creek.
He stands and waits for you to come to talk to you, though he is dumb. He wrings his hands and licks his lips. He laughs a lot and makes quick trips, with his eyes down to your crotch and back again before he's caught. He thinks he's sly, he thinks he's quick when fantasizing about your prick. But on his face the thought is plain, and what he says will bring disdain. It makes you cough, it makes you gag, and overall it makes you glad that in fact you are not gay, even though he wants it that way. This one doesn't need much explanation, it's about my son. It's called The Boy Made of Love. I'd love to have a boy to love me. So I looked near and I looked far. But what I didn't know was he was growing inside of me. I gave up hope and I lost my way. Until at last he found me. He touched my heart from deep inside. And when he was laid upon my chest, I knew that love had found me.
Oh yes, she's very brilliant. I love her a lot. That was fantastic. Thank you, Bridget. All right, so I have some sad news for y'all. There's only 3 poets left. Put your one in. There's always next week too. Anyway, that being said, hey Colin.
What's good, bud?
Hey, guess what? It's go time. Come on up. I'll be in here any. Oh Jesus.
Oh,
I am the rat. I am the rat. Stay with me here. It started with 0. Then there's 1. Found another. Became 2. Became 1 again, so they had 3. Had another. Then they had some. 10,000. These are the rats under the deck. So, consensus. I'm not a part of consensus. Exterminate the rats. Or at least a healthy population of it. BB gun, traps, live traps. Feed them to rare endangered fractal taloned bird trauma at the Raptor Center. Maybe they're not hungry for rats under the deck.
There was one family I left for 5 days. Now there's 10,000. Yeah, this is the nature of the mind. So we call them rats. You, thing there, rat. You devourer of my internal sense of security. You devourer of my sanitized, civilized, commercialized, photographed, reprinted, distributed, eaten but not digested, cancer developed. We exterminated the Jews or the Africans that were brought here, or what did the Russians do, or what did the United Statesians do? Who did that? Who's accountable? Who did this? Who makes this war? Who's making the war? Is it people signing documents? Or is it every single individual who decides that you are not me and I am not you, so you have to leave me alone? No, you don't want to? You want food and security and shelter and a beautiful family and a lot of extra food. Nope, too many of you. Hi. I am the rat. There is no rat. There's just another being. It's become this raw. I would suppose myself to have eaten a lot of acid. I asked a man, is there acid in this cup? Someone said, too many words, too many words, too many words, and scampered out the back door. Okay, too many words. So what's it all about? How many words in the English language? How many nations devoured by its teeth? How many people believe language more than just being here in this marvelous photograph? I really liked everything that I heard coming from this microphone, from your beautiful voices tonight, and everything from beyond the microphone, from your hearts together, synchronizing into this beautiful space. This is a very, very rare moment. Undercooked, so let's bring some heat to the rats. Why? What's it for? Where does it get you? To exterminate the rats. One day you're the rat. Everybody calls you the rat. And they come for you because you believe yourself to be a rat and you stay in your ratness. So someone's got to let go. Someone's just got to let go. There's two sides. It takes two to make a war. You can kill me. I'll come right back. I'll be right back. And just hop, skip, and a jump over to the next railroad track and keep on running. Free, babe. I'm free.
Whoa there, mister. What you doing?
Pedestal.
Okay, I see. There we go.
Seriously. It's funny. You'd think I was on drugs.
Are you?
No.
Oh, good.
No, not at all. I'm not on drugs at all.
I mean, I wouldn't be judging.
I know you wouldn't. I love you.
I mean, wouldn't be the first either.
That's true.
I've done it.
Because this community here, all of you here, like, are so down with what people have to offer, with what each other has to offer, hearing it, actually hearing it. I am hearing you, and so I am offering my recapitulation of all your beauty right now. You can call it a poem. You can call them rats. Everything has to die. By your hands? What will you kill today?
Let it live. Scotch brush. Invasive species. Get it out of here. It's everywhere. Take no more than 2% of a given sage that you find in the wild. Or maybe some Scots broom. Scots broom is so interesting, it appears, and if you make an essence of the flower and drop it into your mouth through a little bit of distilled water and alcohol, distilled many times, taking a little bit of the essence, you know what it does? They say, try it, try it. It provides relief from the angst of environmental collapse. Scotch broom. It's yellow. It's on every hillside. In the spring, you can see it everywhere. Take the flowers. Make an essence. Take it every day. And watch this world bloom. It's not over. Who said it was over? It's just now. It's not going to stop being now. How much time you got here?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, the rush comes. Pistols in my hand. BB's ready to go. Gun is well oiled. Rats below the deck. I'm knocking on your door. I see you. I feel you. I smell you. I have dog instinct because I can change into anything. Such is the nature of the mind.
Oh.
So what do I do now? I see you there coming at me. You're defending. You're defending yourself? But you're so small. Pitiful. Give up. Give up, why don't you? Just die.
Oh, wow. That's negative.
Or fall in love with me.
There we go. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Think about that.
Fantastic. That's fantastic improv. Oh, goodness me. So. Oh, sorry. I'm getting into the alarm noise. That was fantastic. So anyway, you guys kick ass. And that kicked ass. That was improv. I can't believe it. I thought that was memorized. I thought that was like all like, yeah, no. Oh, hey. Yes, Josh is coming to town because he is our penultimate poet. Dun, dun, dun.
I love being paneled with. The pen is the best part. Well, man, I gotta tell you guys, I'm sitting there at the table thinking, what am I gonna say about you people? You're birds in my heart. You're butterflies to the brain. You're this beautiful, scintillant swirl of diamonds that flows in the air around here. I just love this poetry night.
Thank you, Josh.
However, I was thinking a lot about form. You know, when I studied poetry, back in the Pleistocene, we were looking at poetry changes over the ages. Shakespeare could never have written free verse. And yet, where am I going with this? What I'm going with this is I had the interesting thing of the clash of form, rondelles, rondeaus, villanelles, etc., versus this free-flowing and beautiful flow of love and poetry that comes out. So I wrote a sonnet. 14 lines of iambic pentameter. This is called The Sonnet as an Old Man. The writing of a sonnet is a pain that hammers words to fit like blocks of stone. And once it's done, the poet feels no gain, for rigid form is caused to stand alone. The modern world throws scansion to the side to join the midden heap of form and rhyme, though rhyme persists with clumsy stumbling pride and hurried steps and couplets out of time. Do poems rise like waves bewitched by shallows? Or does the loom of language weave its cloth on ragged frames, on oak trees, or on gallows? Or are our words born wave-like in the froth? Thus poetry has rid itself of form, and passion drives the poet through the storm.
Finally a sonnet!
Finally a
Finally a sonnet! Come on!
This is free verse. No, free verse is the best. What I love about, you study sonnets and stuff, and you realize how things kind of work mechanically, and then you throw away the mechanical part, and you get this. This is called Why How is Not Why. This is part of the Existential Angst series. How is not why, as God is not hate, nor love, but inspiration. The chemical machine in which we ride is imbued with spirit, a manifestation of the mysterious. Yet we believe that machines cannot have spirits, and we believe that we believe, independent of the machine that we are riding. This vehicle, this thing of juice and muscle with which we experience the world, we believe to be both holy and simply mechanical simultaneously. That is not the question, for the answer is always yes. The real question is, who is driving this meat vehicle? What impish entity is behind the wheel of the chemical machine? Where are they hiding down in the hidden crenellations of the brain, itself a chemical sponge, besieged by complex molecules doing the complex dance of valences and bonds? We watch, often in horror, sometimes in delight, as this wet computer, driven by God knows who, boots up the body, and we dance to the tune of complex chemicals processing each other. Who and why are toxic? The spirit gags at the acrid uncertainty. An explanation makes it better. A how serves well enough to understand the process. But we are not the process, although we are the process of thinking, feeling, wanting, having, losing, all things. We are the sunrise we marvel at, the pillow on which we sleep, the faces we paint in clouds, the jangle and mumble of valences and bonds. When next you walk in the rain, know that you are not the water, and yet, pardon me. When next you walk in the rain, know that you are the water, and yet you are not. You are the experience, and yet you are not. You are the passenger watching some other unknown someone drive your chemical machine, and yet you are not.
And yet.
Oh man, a lot to think about. A lot to
So
think
much
about.
fun.
So much. All right. First off, I'd like to give a hand to all the poets tonight. All of them. Hands when you're doing that vibrating thing they do when you cut too much. You know the thing. You know the thing. There we go. There we go. And I want you to keep clapping because this is our final poet, Darius.
Someone for this KFC chicken? How on earth could you get away with that? It's highly impossible. To do that, Big Red. Don't throw me out the window. What for? Good question. But why is it so much complexion? A stinky coat. You go too far. That's so much better. That shattered glass. The karma. So traumatized by the jar of honey. A party pooper. You left the car doors open. It's so frigid. Damn it. What do we do now? I'm not positively sure. It's all over. Give him up. Slowly. What if I don't? You won't get to feel the soft and mindful ground again. Will you be arrested? Probably. He's an addict. I can see that. Look in my eyes. It's so terrified by a small dagger. A bragger. It will be a know-it-all. Falls in failure. A hail out of frustration. For I won't fall for it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and gentle ladies, and hopefully gentlemen, or whatever, you know, or trunk people. This has been page 2 poetry at Cush. Please, and I am James Otter. You can find me on Face Crook. Face Crook, yeah. And no, I don't have a shitter or a twatter. But I do, actually. I was considering reading a bonus poem.
Bonus!
A bonus poem.
Bonus!
Because after all, this next, Saturday is the 4th of July. All right.
Do it.
It's harvesting season this 4th of July. After all the legal explosions cease and my kind, noise-sensitive friends come out of their bomb shelters, we test the heat of the day by dropping unlit wooden matches on the ground just to see if they'll catch on fire. This tells us whether a cancer screening will be necessary. Facing the bright white orb of the sun, I see the bright blue blob of not being able to see for a second. And then there's the rest of everything. Sunblock, sunglasses, sundress, sun-dried tomatoes. It's summer and the heat is on. Downtown officer BMX sports enthusiasts are selling tickets to the circus of embarrassment. And all we have to do to gain access is break any of the new laws. Any of them. None of you guys can do that. Only I can do that. The really cool kids break obscure laws. Only the hippest legal pigs will catch on. They will nod you down, flag you over, cup your hands proposing to you. If you resist, well, they will say you can't resist because you're irresistible. So my friends and I watched the circus with the crowds of inebriated, abusive, incestuous, transgender, semi-aquatic Uncle Sam's floating down the rank, cataract-issuing river.
Oh no!
It gives me this warm feeling of patriotism. I managed to catch a flock of the drunk ones parading around stars and stripes, latex paint pants. America should show its true colors all across the river, at least some part of it. Uncle and aunt and sister brother Sam confirm it. A few odd cosplayed statues of liberty join us. It's a day of freedom, of expression. As long as that expression can emphasize just how full metal nationalist you are. So we steal a bunch of food dye and every kind of red, white, and blue paint as well. 50 of us flash mob our way through Home Depot, one for each state of the union, explaining that we have to paint our houses special for the occasion. Homeland Security is brought in on the scene. They threaten the desk clerks, warning them that we as Americans have the right to own all the red, white, and blue paint, along with all the stars, glow in the dark ones too, you see. The Confederate flag-wearing toga Nazis were waiting outside for us. They wanted paint too, but we had it all. And the only way they were gonna get it from us would be if they volunteered to be painted. Either way, we sprayed them. Boom, 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 boom. Went back to the river and to the parks and brought America's lacquer carbonated toxic primordial goo, then proceeded to tractor paint entire parks. Unfortunately, the park rangers weren't so patriotic, so we painted them too. Lit up bottle rockets in their office and fired guns at their pitiful pushboard desks. Eviscerating all that environmental court, church, doctorate, propaganda stink. The police eventually took us to their specific circus. Of course, Uncle Sam didn't let some wussy stun batons shut his spirit down. We tackled the cops, handcuffed them together, and stole their gadgets, as well as even more paint. The next day, we were on the go, and nationalism was now considered gang affiliation. The rest of the state was rounded up and sent to a lifetime resort. We got away, but everybody else, well, fuck them. Well, they're screwed, but it was worth it. Even the martial law. All for America!
America!
Thank you. This has been Page 2 Poetry at Cush. I am James Otter. Look for me on Facebook. Or don't.
Face crap.
Because I have too many Facebook friends to begin with. Make your own decisions. And come back next Tuesday.